The past year has taken a major toll on many local businesses. Some feel they've been forced to fight back against the government.
Biggest issue with us is not only loss of business, but we've obviously laid off and hired back probably around like 100 to 150 people.
Scott Wexler is a co-owner at Santora's Pizza Pub and Grill. He says it's been a roller coaster for his business this year with ever-changing state restrictions.
I just think it's been extremely difficult. The transparency isn't there. They haven't given us the true science why things are happening.
Back in November, restaurants in Erie County were forced to close indoor dining again as COVID numbers surged in the region. 64 COVID-related deaths were reported in Erie County in that month alone. But owners say state data showed restaurants were only responsible for 1.43% of the spread.
We were the only type of business in Erie County that was actually closed. Every other industry was open.
They've spread a lot of fear and I believe misinformation.
Robbie De Niro owns the Athletes Unleashed gym in Orchard Park. His business was also shut down by the state, despite data showing gyms were only responsible for 0.06% of the spread.
The government kept infringing upon our rights, taking away our ability to earn a living.
In November, De Niro held a protest in his gym and kicked out county health officials and Erie County Sheriff's deputies. The next day, he was sent a $15,000 fine. He had some strong words for the Erie County Health Commissioner.
I will never pay that fine. I will sit in jail before they ever get any money. They will never get money from me. Gail Burstein should sit down at the kitchen table with her $500,000 salary, $300,000 of which was in overtime, and ask my kids if I'm essential.
Wexler and De Niro were both part of separate lawsuits against the state to get their businesses reopened. They were both successful. Dr. Thomas Russo is an infectious disease expert at the UB School of Medicine. He was disappointed with the judge's rulings.
I think that data that New York State released was imperfect.
Dr. Russo believes the data, which was based on contact tracing, is unreliable because a significant amount of people never respond when contact tracers reach out to them.
Despite that data, I think there's little question that any venue that you're indoors where people cannot wear masks at all times poses an increased risk for getting infected with the new coronavirus.
Officials from Erie County government declined to be on camera, but sent us this statement. Obviously, no one wants businesses to be closed because that's bad for everyone economically, but COVID-19 restrictions are a necessary way to limit the spread of the virus, which has claimed over 460,000 lives in the U.S., including over 1,400 lives here in Erie County. Since that statement, numbers of deaths have risen over 500,000 nationwide. Both Wexler and De Niro say they have protective measures in place to ensure their customers' safety.
There's people that are still nervous out there. There's a lot of safety measures that were already put in place that we've been doing for a long time. So people should be comfortable about that.
We follow the mandates. We socially distance, people wear masks, and we clean our gear. That's what we've always done.
As we all wonder when life will get back to normal, Dr. Russo says our COVID risk will never be down to zero. While masks and distancing are helpful, they won't end this pandemic.
That's why now with vaccinations available, it's critical that, as many people get vaccinated as soon as possible, which will really help bring this pandemic to an end.
If you'd like to read more about the court cases that allowed the businesses to reopen or see the unedited versions of the interviews, log on to broadcastingbuffalo.com. For Broadcasting Buffalo, I'm Angelique Preston.